Hey, what is going on, you ruffled rowlet? Today I've got a deck that absolutely destroys Mew VMAX. The matchup is so good, and when you have a really good matchup against the best deck and one of the most popular decks being played right now, and you don't just lose to everything else, that's usually a pretty good spot to be, and that is exactly where Gengar VMAX, the turbo build. I built a deck on the Inteleon build, but this is the turbo build. I feel like the Inteleon build is a lot more fragile. And the Mew VMAX matchup is good, but it's not as good as it is with this build. So I wanted to show this one off to you guys. Built this the other day on the stream, twitch.tv/AzulGG. I stream every day except Tuesdays. Go check out the live stream. Miss out a ton of PTC Joe content if you are not. So we got 4/4 Gengar VMAX in here. You don't really need 4 Gengar VMAX. 3 would be okay. So if you're looking for a spot to like open it up for any other card you want to include, feel free to cut a Gengar VMAX. But I got 4/4 Gengar VMAX, 4/4 Houndoom, and 2 Crobat, and that is it. I had 3 Crobat in here for a while, but we were opening it up quite a bit, so I decided to cut it back down to 2. I still kind of like the idea of 3 Crobat because of how efficient Gengar VMAX is with both its attacks and how little, I don't know, just so efficient. You have a lot of bench space to work with. You only really need to set up 2 Houndoom and then 2 Gengars, which means you have 2 bench spaces to work with. And at the last turn of the game, you could even have a 3rd bench space to work with, to dig with like a 3rd Crobat. And it also just means if you play 3 Crobat and you need to use 2 throughout a game, you're less likely to prize one of them and not have access to that 2nd Crobat. So I still really like the idea of 3 Crobat, but currently rocking 2. I actually cut one of them for the Vitality Band, which can act as a nice little damage buffer to try and get to that 320 damage with our GMAX Swallow Up. Really good against matchups like Ice Rider and stuff like that. So included the Vitality Band over that 3rd Crobat. But like I said, super simple deck. The 4/4 Gengar VMAX, 4/4 Houndoom, 2 Crobat. That's all the Pokemon. That's all you need. Gengar VMAX, super strong, especially right now when Mew VMAX is so popular. This guy is just a terror. And like I said, the other matchups, they're not, you don't lose to everything else. You don't just beat, the top deck and lose to literally everything else. This deck is good against pretty much everything besides Rapid Strike Urshifu. And then the Single Strike isn't even that bad of a matchup because you can kind of respond to the Single Strike Urshifus back and forth a little bit early on. And it's not really that bad of a matchup. Going first is a big deal on that one, but it's really not terrible, just that you're weak to fighting and they play Single Strike Urshifu. Rapid Strike Urshifu, on the other hand, that's a little bit of a struggle. That one's tough. But Single Strike, not quite as bad. Ton of Pokemon search here. 4 Evolution Instants, 4 Great Ball, 4 Quick Ball, not a ton of energy, 4 Single Strike energy, and then only 4 Hiding energy, so just a bunch of special energy. And then we actually only play 3 Urns of Vitality, because once again, Gengar is a super efficient attacker. Big 1-hit KOs, potentially back-to-back with GMAX Swallow Up. Fear and Panic is a super efficient 2-hit KO attack against almost like every deck in the format, so that's like, you don't need a ton of energy to be using Fear and Panic for the first couple turns of the game potentially. And then also, Pain Explosion is also something we utilize sometimes. But yeah, only 3 Urns of Vitality, and this has felt like more than enough energy recovery in the deck. Only 3 Urn, but it's felt like it's more than enough for sure. 4 Tower of Darkness to help us get that extra draw power throughout the game. And we do play, I guess this would be considered a pretty heavy Crobat line right now. There's only 2 of them, but nothing really plays Crobat, so I guess this is a heavy Crobat line. So I want to keep those Pats of the Peaks out of play so we can make sure we have access to our Crobats. And of course, usual suspects in the supporter slots: Boss, Marnie, and Research. And that is the list, guys. The deck it just feels so good right now. The deck feels so good. Completely destroys Mew VMAX, and everything else is like a fine matchup as well. It feels insane. The deck feels insanely good right now. Definitely recommend you guys try it out. Before we get into some games, big shout out as always to Full Grip Games. They still have their Black Friday sale going on, so make sure you guys go check that out. A ton of products at MSRP or below in price. It'll be going all the way until December 3rd. And if you guys go over there and you see everything is out of stock, don't worry. They restock every single day between now and December 3rd at 9 a.m. Eastern. So check back the next morning to see if what you guys were looking for is back in stock once again. And that's gonna do it, guys. Let's get into some games, and let me show you how good Gengar VMAX really is. Coin flip dub. That means we're going first, and we're looking for some Houndours, or actually even just like a Gengar with an energy would be fine. A Mulligan is also fine. So that means hopefully we'll find a Gengar with an energy or some Houndours. One or the other. Both are fine. Hopefully just not a Crobat start. Oh, I feel like I was like about to speak it into existence there. But we got the Gengar, we got the energy, we have a Quick Ball and a Tower of Darkness. See what our opponent's playing, and then see how we want to play with these stadium cards up against a Mew VMAX. Okay. I just want to throw out Tower of Darkness and get rid of a Tower of Darkness and see what we draw. Start with that. And I don't really want to get rid of my Switch with my Quick Ball. Don't really want to get rid of a Quick Ball with my Quick Ball though either. I really will get rid of a Switch. We'll get rid of a Switch here. Go ahead. Got 3 VMAXs left. Houndour. I might even quick ball away this VMAX. Go get another Houndour. I think I am going to do that. We don't really need the VMAX next turn as well. Like, that's not something that's like a necessity. Attach active and pass. We could just hit it with like a pain explosion, or I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's not necessary to get a VMAX online next turn, so I don't really need to put the VMAX in play. But a really good start. This is exactly what we're looking for in this matchup, and there's nothing they can really do on their first turn at this point that would really hinder our setup too much. I don't think. I can't like think of anything that would, so I don't think there is anything that would. There's a what? A Galarian Meow. Why is this here? Oh, maybe they're playing it to kind of thin out their hands so their Genesects can draw more cards. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I actually tested that out with an Articuno V oh, no, I don't think I ever tried it out. I had the idea to try it out, and then I never tried it out and never ended up trying it out. But I thought, hey, maybe this could be good. I never ended up trying it out, actually. Here comes your Peony. Do they play the one of... I mean, I guess they could play more than one of. Usually when you see Peony, there's not 4 Battle VIP Pass. There's sometimes just like a one of Battle VIP Pass in the list. So let's see if they play that one of battle. And there it is. Whoa, Metal Saucer. Okay. So it's a... So I have no clue what's going on here. It's more Turbo Genesect than Mew, I guess, then is what we're looking at here. So I guess the question could be... how many Mew do they play? And actually, you know what? To be honest, they could get a turn 1 knockout on my I was gonna say my Genesect, my Gengar with Genesect with a Techno Blast. That would be terrifying. Let's hope they don't get that. That would actually put us in a really awkward spot. And they're drawing a lot of cards right now. I guess it's only 5 because they do have the Meowth down, but that's still a decent amount. And they haven't used the evolution. They could actually definitely knock me out this turn. Like, that's not even that ridiculous for them to pull off, to be honest. And then the question would be, could I get a response? Which, to be honest, I'm not confident I'd be able to with my current setup. If I had like another Gengar V on the bench, I'd be pretty confident I'd be able to get a VMAX with 2 energy and knock out a Genesect. But with my current setup, oh, the Meowth discard, no metal energy. They also play Cross Switcher. How do they fit all this? So mainly basic metals, Cross Switchers. Like, the Cross Switchers was pretty unexpected, to be honest. Like, everything else kind of makes sense. And Cramormatic, like, do they even play more than 1 Metal Saucer? Like, how do they fit 4 Metal Saucer and enough metal energy to want to use Metal Saucer, be able to use Metal Saucer? There's Capture Energy. That's right, it is Metal colorless. So now they need to get like Quick Ball, Metal Saucer energy off of 2 cards. So I guess they could have the, you know, the Quick Ball and the Metal Saucer in the hand already, and then just need the energy, or have the energy in the Metal Saucer, or the Quick Ball and need the whatever. They could, it's a combination there. I guess also Cramomatic. Oh no, Cramomatic can't discard. It has to discard an item card though. So like they could use that to discard the energy. Then you maybe even wouldn't even play the Meowth. You just play Cramomatic, discard the energy. I'm thinking about something that's not even possible though. Actually, something that is kind of scary here though is my opponent can actually just retreat the Latias or Meowth, and then I'm only taking 1 prize for my turn. And then they can theoretically chain 3 2 prizes from there on out. I guess they wouldn't be able to 1-hit KO a Gengar VMAX though, with being down 2 tablet already. Or probably wouldn't be able to. So if I can just get a Gengar VMAX online this turn or next turn, that should survive an extra turn and give me like a turn to play with to like even out the prize trade potentially there. But they actually run to a Genesect here instead of one of the smaller dudes, which I think definitely was correct to run to one of the smaller dudes. We got to research. I think I will play this Crobat. I want to get aggressive. I want to make sure I get this knockout here. Draw a bunch of cards. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of all of those cards. Great ball here. We got the VMAX, but I think I am just going to go for it. Just going to get this VMAX here. Throw it down. They can't KO it, like I mentioned. They just can't KO this VMAX anymore. With a hiding energy, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, we are doing enough. We don't need the single strike energy, so we can recover that later. Can't recover the hiding energy, so another hiding energy, and then I play research. I'm down to just draw a bunch of cards. Get another Gengar V, maybe. Nope, got a Houndoom. Oh, we did get the Gengar V, actually. Question is, do I want to put it in play, I guess? I don't have to be honest. I could just go with that Fear and Panic, wait till next turn, see what happens, and then throw it down next turn, which I'm leaning towards liking a little bit more. So let's go Fear and Panic. I feel like if I put it down, they could chase it. I don't know, does that ever put me in like a really awkward spot? I feel like actually not. It was probably fine to just put it down, to be honest. I don't know why I was like so scared of putting that down. I was like a little bit terrified. But like there's no reason to, I don't think. All right. They only have 3 Pokemon V in play, or V Pokemon in play now. But this Vitality Band actually could come in clutch, where I wouldn't actually have to put a single strike energy on my active next turn to actually KO this Genesect if they don't put another V Pokemon in play themselves. They actually chose to discard that energy there instead of... Oh, here comes a Raihan. Oh, so something spicy's happening this turn. Let's see what they set up here. The Raihan happened. They get the energy on the Mew. There's the Mew VMAX. But now they need to get the Mew VMAX into the active. Here comes the the Berserker. Oh, that makes them do plus 20 damage, actually. Double cross switcher on my Houndoom. So they're going after my Houndoom here. Yeah, just straight up going after my Houndoom. And actually, if they get... Oh, no. No chance. If they get double tablet, they can actually KO my Houndoom with the Dyna Barrier, which would actually be really annoying. But they need their last tablet here off this 3 card. Like, they could bench another Genesect and then draw a couple more cards. So they could get one more Genesect down. There's the quick ball. Here it comes. Another Genesect making its way to the field. You can draw again here and maybe be able to actually knock out this Houndoom with Dyna Barrier. I do have the boss in my hand as a response, so it's like not the end of the world if that happens, but it's kind of annoying. But yeah, we have to go boss, bench a Gengar, attach hiding energy, single strike roar over to this Gengar, and we'd probably just be in a fine spot. But it would be annoying. Here it comes. Cramomatic. There's the heads. So here comes the second tablet. I'm sure it's what my opponent's going to do here. I guess they could do something else, but it would make absolutely no sense to do anything else. But this only gives it 1 prize card. It's really not the end of the world that this happens. It's a little bit annoying, but you know, we have the boss response to make sure we can still draw a prize card this turn, and then we can start setting up this Gengar this turn, which I could have actually set up last turn, I guess, and I was just like super scared to do that for basically no reason. But yeah, we're going to go chase this Genesect here. Single strike roar. And this kind of board state, this is why Gengar VMAX is so good against Mew. This kind of board state checkmates Mew basically when we're ahead, because Dyna Barrier stops the Gengar VMAX from attacking, but if they Dyna Barrier, then I can hit them. I can't hit them with the VMAX, but I can still hit them with the V, and the V is set up. So if they go chase the V and they use like a Techno Blast to 1-hit KO the V, then I can hit them with Fear and Panic, and I KO the Mew that way. So this is like the, once we're ahead in this matchup, this is why it's such a good matchup, because Gengar is such an efficient attacker into Mew, and we have a really easy response to the Dyna Barrier as well with the Gengar V. Yeah, we can checkmate our opponent really early on in this matchup once we get ahead. Really not too hard to get ahead with like a turn 2 Fear and Panic. So yeah, we basically checkmated our opponent at this point. Now the question is just, do they have any other tricks up their sleeve? We see another Raihan going down here. They're actually setting up the Berserker of all things here. They put the energy on the Berserker. Are they going to attack with Berserker here? They could. You know, Metal Saucer, energy for turn, and then there's the concede. No surprise. That is why it is such a good matchup. Although this one's a little bit different. They have the Genesects, which theoretically maybe would have made things harder because it's not weak to dark, but not really because we still want to KO them. And overall, they're probably just a little bit clunkier. Not as lucky on the coin flip in this one, but a decent start. Still, Gengar plus a quick ball and a draw supporter. Can't complain with that kind of start. That's everything we need to get going and come up with a way to beat our opponent. So Mew start from my opponent here. That's a Rayquaza V. And what? No way, they're playing Pikachu V Union. All right, let's see how this goes. So yeah, our opening hand, probably gonna look for a Dower. Maybe we do want... I'm still kind of like my opponent. I don't even know if they're going to attack with the Rayquaza. The Rayquaza might just be here to use its ability to discard cards from your hand to like set up the Pikachu V Union. But they probably play some kind of fire energy because they may as well be able to attack with Rayquaza. Anyways, right? You may as well give yourself that opportunity. I don't think I'm going to get turn 2 Pikachu V Union though. I don't think like anything like that, anything crazy like that is probably going to happen. I'm not like too scared of something like that happening. They got the Mew in the early game here to help set up, I guess. Quick ball, another Mareep makes sense. I gotta be careful. I might lose this Gengar V. Rayquaza VMAX on turn 2. So like I'm debating actually getting out like another. I mean, I gotta get a lot of stuff here. I think we do just go for a Houndour, and then I maybe try and retreat this Gengar V into something else after the Marnie. To be honest, I don't really want to Marnie my opponent here either, but really all I had. Wow. Interesting draw for sure. Definitely gonna retreat. Question is, what do I retreat to? I guess probably to the Gengar V here. Leave the Dower squad alive, and then hope this Great Ball gets the Crobat on the next turn. I don't really need a Crobat this turn. I'm down to kind of wait. Definitely want to retreat. I think I want to run to a Gengar here. I don't want to lose a Houndour. I think I'd rather you lose the Gengar V than a Houndour here. And we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, there's the Rayquaza VMAX. Got the ability to at least draw some cards. Yeah, I really did not want to Marnie my opponent there, but it did feel like I didn't really have a choice. It kind of felt like I just kind of had to play the Marnie there. I got a quick ball for a Crobat, but that's like super risky. Yeah. I guess I can only do... I mean, unless they play a Rose, of course. If they get the Rose off. If they don't Rose, then they're only doing, what, 180? Which doesn't quite KO this Gengar, but mean, I'm not really doing a whole ton on my turn, so it doesn't really matter too much. For me, I mean, I'm still in a bad spot. I feel like you can just kind of punch me, because they didn't get the attachment down turn 1. So actually, unless they play a Rose, and they're just running to them, reaping, passing. All right, we get. Oh, there's a top deck right there. Absurd. Now we can just go for. Oh, we can't go with the Dark Slumber knockout. Actually, we can go with Dark Slumber with the active action. I'm gonna switch, and then research, and I can choose which Gengar I want to attack with. If we do get a single, I was gonna say, if we do get a single strike energy, we could actually just go with like a single strike roar here, and then attach here and use Dark Slumber and save this energy on this one, which I think I like the idea of the most. And I don't really want to play anything else. I'm just gonna retreat. I mean, I could evolve and actually knock out with Fear and Panic, but then maybe I should just use this one instead. That probably would have been better, because they can only get like 2 more energies here next turn. I probably should have gone with the Fear and Panic. I still could. I can go Marie or Flaffy for 1, attach for 1, so that's 3. So instead of doing 100 and what was I saying, 80, they're doing. And I do survive theoretically. So I do want to evolve now. And I get to keep his energy here as well. Evolve. Jeez, but I don't love it. I don't love the idea of evolving here, but let's just go with it. Fear and Panic, knockout. I do want the single strike energy here as well, because I do want the option to be able to 1-hit KO this Rayquaza. I could have put that Vitality Band here as well if I wanted to. I don't love the idea of doing that, just in case they play like a Tool Scrapper, because then I just kind of lose it for nothing, for no value. The chance of them playing Tool Scrapper is probably pretty low, but I don't know, like if their deck struggles with KOing like Zacians and Suicunes, or like I don't play Rayquaza Pikachu v Union, so I don't play that deck, so I don't know what it struggles with and what it doesn't. But I think our Gengar VMAX is gonna survive this hit, or a potential hit. I guess they haven't even hit yet. They might not hit with Rayquaza VMAX this turn, and if they don't, well, then we're definitely surviving. But if they do, I think we survive the hit. And if they don't attack us, we actually have the boss, so we can just kind of force the prize trade on our opponent. And this has always been a really good spot to be able to probably close this one out. So I'm feeling really, really good if my opponent does not actually attack this turn. I'm still feeling really, really good. So we're in a really good spot pretty much no matter what. Second Mew comes down. But that's kind of the power of this Gengar VMAX, this single strike build. It's a lot more consistent, a little bit more one-dimensional, I guess. You know, there's not as many options. We don't have the Umbreon and the single strike Urshifu and stuff, but it's a little bit more consistent just around the Gengar VMAX, which just gets a lot done by itself. Fear and Panic, super good against the best deck in the format, and the Mew VMAX. And then between Fear and Panic and the Gmax Swallow Up, you kind of just have a good matchup spread against pretty much everything except Urshifu that 1-hit KOs you. But besides the Urshifu, and even if it's up against single strike, it's actually not that bad. Okay, so we got the single strike energy, and this is where the Vitality Band is super good, actually. And I'm actually going to single strike roar to the bench Gengar here, just start to set that up a little bit, because we don't need that one on the active. Sometimes it does feel like the Vitality Band is a little bit unnecessary, because we could just get the 4th energy there, but in this kind of scenario, it's really nice. And I almost just want to get out the other Houndoom. Accelerating the energy is going to be a big deal once this thing goes down. If this thing goes down, actually, I guess. And then, yeah, Gmax Swallow Up for sure for the knockout. It is still nice to not have to put that 4th energy on the active. And sometimes we can't get it there. Sometimes we prize one. So it kind of, in these scenarios, it's almost like a 5th single strike energy, except we can't Houndoom it into play. So it's not as good as a 5th single strike energy, but it's still pretty good overall. Yeah, I may as well play the Evolution Incense there. I could have got the VMAX as well, but it's possible I draw into a scenario where, you know, they knock this out. Possibly. It doesn't even look like they're going to knock this out this turn, to be honest. But they could knock this out, and then we could draw into a situation where we just... if this was a VMAX in play, maybe we just can't get it attacking in the way we'd want to, and then our opponent is able to abuse that and just kind of go VMAX knockout, which would be pretty bad. So I don't really want to like leave that up as an opportunity for my opponent. Here comes another research. So we're just not getting knocked out again. They finally get 2 pieces of the peak in the discard pile, but it's they're not getting that thing set up this game, I don't think. I don't even think they play Rose. We've seen a lot of Boss, a lot of Juniper, or Research, my bad. No Rose yet. We just been kind of rolling over them. The consistency and power of Gengar VMAX is truly coming through in this one. Go up against something like this Rayquaza deck, which seems like it definitely has the potential to be really powerful sometimes, but comes up short pretty consistently, and that's why not that many people actually play this deck in a competitive scenario, just because it doesn't quite have the that you're looking for consistently from decks these days. Here they come with that max burst. Actually, one of the cool interactions here. Now, it's not that cool to have 3 retreat costs on something like the Gengar VMAX, but we can do this play right now, maybe, and my opponent conceded, where we could have retreated the Gengar, earned the energy back into the deck, found another urn, and then triple single strike roar to a new Gengar VMAX, and then attacked with that one. Our opponent didn't give us a chance to be able to pull it off because they conceded. But I mean, that's what happens when you go up against the Gengar VMAX. Coin flip once again, not on our side, so we will be going second here. Mulligan again, just like in the first game. Hoping for once again, Gengar start is usually really, really good. Unless we get a ton of Houndour. If we get triple Houndour out, then opening Houndour is not too bad. Start is okay. And we don't have a draw supporter, but we do have this Tower of Darkness that we could potentially utilize to get cards. There's always that to be able to fall back on, which is just super nice about the Tower of Darkness. Like, draw cards throughout the game, and sometimes it is just kind of your only way to stay in the game, like this possibly. We are up against a Mew deck. Pretty good matchup if we set up. Of course, Mew, super consistent, especially when they go first. They're pretty much 50-50 or favored against like any matchup they go up against, so we do need to get a decent amount out. This is exactly what we are not looking for. Gengar VMAX doesn't do very anything for us, really. And my opponent, of course, Battle VIP Pass start. So they're starting off hot here with the Battle VIP Pass, and this is why Mew is such a scary deck, because even when they go first, they just, even when they go second, when they go up against anything, if they go first, it's extremely scary though, no matter what matchup Mew's up against if they go first. But even when they go second, it's still really scary, and so on and so forth. Fog Crystal, so they got that turn 1 energy attachment. I mean, they could get another Mew here, then they probably have an energy in the hand. You don't want to whiff the turn 1 energy attachment for the sake of getting another Mew in play. Yep, there's the energy attachment in the pass. Okay, so no draw coming in, which is good for us, but I'm still kind of scared here. Of course, Tower of Darkness. I'm gonna get one of these single strike energies. Don't want to give the VMAX. Rid of the single strike energy, so we draw. Got a Houndour. That's good. The rest of the hand, not as good. Throw down the Dower. And we're gonna bench the Gengar V. Get to attach somewhere now. The question is, where do we want to attach? And what else do we want to do with the hand? I could actually play this boss and force my opponent to also find a switch card this turn. It might like kind of limit the plays they can go for, if they can go for any, to be honest. So we could go with the, why not? Boss up a Genesect, play a little bit slow. I don't really want to play this yet because I might need to use it to find a Houndoom. Question is, where do I attach? I think if I attach a single strike energy here, then I can attach a hiding energy next turn and retreat if I have to. So I think single strike energy here makes the most sense. And then just go ahead and pass to my opponent. So this sets it up so that I can, so if I could have attached active as well. I was thinking about that as well. So if they knock out my active, then I just go VMAX attach that. But I want to be able to have the potential for, you know, the Pain Explosion if they do go with like the Latios attack through the Mew V. I guess I do lose that play here actually by playing it like this. I can't really do a Pain Explosion unless I get a switch card. So I guess I do lose that play. Another play that I'm pretty scared of my opponent having actually is like Fan of Waves, this energy plus KO Houndour. That would be pretty scary. Of course, they have to be playing Fan of Waves, find the Fan of Waves, and also find the Gust effect as well as the energy. Looks like they probably already have the energy here with this Fog Crystal, though, so that was no problem for them to find. Actually, going for a Meloetta, which can also be really scary because it can kind of switch up the prize trade and just make it really favorable for my opponent, to be honest. So Meloetta, even attacking this turn, and maybe I'm not too scared of it this turn, but we can't just like KO VMAX then. The Meloetta kind of shakes things up and makes it a little bit more difficult for us to actually close out games. And it's going to make things more awkward for sure. Definitely going to make things more awkward if they're able to pull off the Meloetta attack this turn. Of course, they do need to find that the Sparkle, the energy. They got this energy here, but it's going to the Mew. So we know they're not attacking with Meloetta this turn. They're going to go in with the Mew VMAX. What are they going to attack with is kind of the question. They're going after my Gengar V here. This is also a good sign for us. They're going to KO this Gengar V. Then we're going to be able to set up a new Gengar VMAX. Only if, I guess, if this Great Ball, this Great Ball does have to hit a Houndoom. I'm kind of talking like, hopefully this hits a Crobat or a Houndoom, and then we're attacking this turn. We also have the Tower of Darkness, or the Rose Tower to work with. We do have this Rose Tower to work with as well. If we take out this Mew VMAX, I'm feeling like we're in a pretty good spot as well. I'm feeling like we're in a pretty good spot. So here we go. And this is why this is like so much better for us playing this Gengar build as opposed to the more classic single strike. I guess now at this point is what we could call it. I want to play the Great Ball before the Rose Tower or after. Kind of want to just like play it right now because then I'm going to put single strike. Okay, so we got the Houndoom, very important. Then I can go with the Urn, put those back. I also don't know if I prize any single strike energy, so if I prized 2, then I would have nothing in there to grab with this single strike Roar. Got that cooking. Got the VMAX cooking. Got a V as well, and then Rose Tower for a couple more cards. Crobat's great, Quick Ball's great. Gonna get another Houndour. Gonna use the Crobat as well. That's why we play 2 Crobat. We like to be pretty aggressive with them, just kind of see cards very aggressively if possible. And I do kind of like this hand. I wouldn't mind another Houndour on the bench, though. Gengar VMAX might need that. I think I will go ahead and grab it. And I think I'm going to hold the rest of the hand as well. We just have the Houndoom here ready to go. So I'm just gonna hold the hand because we do have the Houndoom. I guess the one play that I am kind of scared of here, well, no, not really. They can't Sparkle. They could play Cross Switcher though, so they could go Sparkle, Cross Switcher, Latias through Mew VMAX, KO my Houndour, or even this with like double tablet. That'd be like a pretty big play to hit, but that could put us in a pretty scary scenario, I guess. Another play that could hit this turn would be like triple tablet, Sparkle, triple tablet, knockout. I guess I'm not that afraid of that though, because then they're a VMAX and we just take 3 more prize cards and win the game. So, you know, to be honest, I think we're just in a really good spot. We're just in a really good spot. Let's see if my opponent can come up with an answer for this scenario, actually, more so than anything. We're just in a really good spot. They do have the Sparkle here. That's it. That's all they got is the Sparkle. They can't play boss with it. They can't do anything like that. If they attack with the VMAX, we're just going to be in a good spot. So I'm feeling pretty good about this one now. Feeling pretty good. I don't think there's too much we're afraid of at this point. To be almost smooth sailing from here. They're loading up the Mew VMAXs as well. It's loaded up. They don't have bench space for Latias right now. So I mean, what attack are they going to use? I actually don't know. What attack are they going to use here? They don't have a ton of great options. Are they just going to hit me for 210? If they KO me, maybe they should go for the knockout here. We see 1 tablet so far. If they get 2 more, and that's one thing with Gengar as well. It's got that lower HP on the VMAX side of things, the 320, which is basically like this. It's like the standard HP. Of course, you see Mew has like the 310. But when you're damaging yourself with the Houndooms, it feels a little bit worse, right? The 320 feels worse when you're damaging yourself with Houndoom, as opposed to something like the Single Strike, Urshifu, you know, the 330. You take that, you still have 310 left to work with, which, you know, in scenarios like this, it does become relevant. So that is like a relevant thing as well. It doesn't feel like it's that much. It's like less HP, but when you're damaging yourself with the Houndooms, you definitely start to feel it in scenarios. And this is one of them, which they're going for the Cross Fusion Strike for a Techno Blast, but they're not going to get the KO here. Oh, they're going for the Psychic Leap, so they're going to run away. Smart play from my opponent here. Make it so I can't win on my next turn. And then they're probably going to ship the Meloetta to the active. Of course, if I knock out, oh, they're going to send up a Genesect active, so keep the Meloetta as an option. Doesn't really change too much. I don't know. It's like an okay play from my opponent. Okay, check my discard pile real fast. I'm gonna go quick ball away the Single Strike energy. Gonna grab ourselves another Gengar here. We're just gonna try and set up a bunch of different Gengars, have a bunch of different options of Gengars to run into, and really just set it up so my opponent can't kind of trap me out of one play or the other, if that makes sense. Just want to be able to hit with Gengar VMAX or the V in any scenario. They are down 1 tablet. I'm gonna play this. I don't think I'm gonna thin anything out of the deck here. I'm just gonna leave. I could thin out one of these Houndooms, to be honest. I don't really need that many Houndooms anymore. I could use some Single Strike Roars. I'll use 1. Got 3 left. Split up the energy here, 1 and 1. And I think I'll leave the rest in the deck. Just like leave everything else in the deck, play the research, and then just use Fear and Panic to knock out the active here. Might even burn. If I get Marnie, I don't really want to draw into this. If I get Marnie, I'm not trying to draw into a Gengar VMAX. Unless I draw alongside my Tower of Darkness. I actually prize 2 Tower of Darkness, so we're probably going to draw into some here. And then, yeah, Fear and Panic, get this knockout. And yeah, like I said, looking really good. Still looking really good. I guess I could have ran to a new VMAX there. That would have been fine. Double Tower of Darkness with the prize cards, of course. I could have attacked with a fresh VMAX instead. What would that have really changed, though? I could have put 2 energy here or here. Fresh VMAX, still leave the V with 1 energy on it. That would have been something. I don't know if it actually does anything, though. Like, I don't know if it changes anything. Could have attacked with a V as well. I could have attacked with the Gengar V. All of our attacks knock out everything, though. I guess like having 2 Pokemon set up that can definitely attack probably was a better way to go, to be honest. So maybe I should have attacked with a fresh Gengar VMAX, because even if they get off, I mean, I don't know, triple tablet. I can't even do like a triple tablet play anymore because they're down 2, right? I'm only down 1. Triple tablet with Latias wouldn't even KO my Gengar V, though. So like there was no way for my opponent to like lock me out of this game in... Yeah, there's no way for them to like lock me out of this game. I feel like we just kind of had it. We have it, you know, like, and usually when you're like really far ahead, that's also when it can be like when you're behind, you know, even in general, it can be hard to find like the correct line of play. But when you're really far ahead, everything looks fine or good. So then it gets really hard. But there's still a correct line of play out there. You still have to identify it. You want to identify it. But it can be really hard to identify when you're super far ahead because everything looks good, right? You can come up with like a reason to do everything. But I think retreating to a fresh VMAX right here with this one, VMAXing this, and then Single Strike Roaring over there, and then still have energy here was the correct line to take, and just have 2 VMAXs hitting. Because even if they go into the Latias attack through the Cross Fusion Strike, we just have the V still on the bench with 1 energy, and I should be still in a good spot to like get the knockout next turn. And if they don't Latias, then we can just attack with the Gengar VMAX. If they do Latias, even if we don't get the Gengar VMAX this turn, we could get it on the following turn, and we'd still just kind of be fine. So probably should have done that. In the end, not going to matter. Like I said, it's just so good for us at this point. We're just so set up. Like, it's over. The game's over. That's it. It's done. And we're just going to win on this turn no matter what. But there was definitely a little bit to think about there, potentially. If things had gone differently, I guess. That's the only way to think. But yeah, but there was like... It's just so hard. We actually top decked a single strike energy there, which is funny. It's like the only one of the fears of also not using the Houndoom on the last turn is we could top deck the single strike energy. But yeah, Fear and Panic. Close this one out. We got the VMAX. We got the energy. No problem. A little bit of missequencing in the end there, but that is why this deck is so good right now, because Mew VMAX is so good, and Mew VMAX is definitely the BDIF, so why not play a deck that just destroys the BDIF like the Gengar VMAX? If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you enjoyed the content and you're new here, subscribe, hit the bell, and I will see you guys tomorrow.